In combat sports, there are moments that define careers. Moments where preparation meets pressure and champions are revealed. On March 14th, Submission Kings returns. And in the light heavyweight division, two elite grapplers are set to collide. Kyle Lundie, a technician, calculated, composed, relentless. Years of dedication, sacrifice, and discipline have shaped him into one of the most dangerous competitors in the division. He doesn't chase victory, he controls it. But across the mat stands a man who refuses to be controlled. JP Kruger. JP Kruger, explosive, aggressive, unpredictable. A competitor who brings intensity to every exchange and carries the ability to finish a fight in an instant. Two styles, two mindsets, one championship. Submission Kings 22, Lundie, Kruger, Light Heavyweight Championship. This is the countdown.
Can you just take us through Am I ready?
Okay, Mr. Kruger.
Yes.
Nice, easy session today.
Ja.
What's going on?
Ja, nee, kyk, yes, as ek nou met hierdie sessies in woorde sit, it always reminds me of I once watched a movie of Bok van Blad, and in the movie he said bliksem. And that's how I feel after these sessions, bliksem.
Obviously, a tough session, and I'm sure they don't get any easier as you get more experienced in life. Just talk me through the motivation to keep coming, doing sessions like this, keep putting yourself out there, just the motivation behind it.
Yes, man, like you guys know, like I retired about, like, I think it's about 2 years ago from mixed martial arts, and but I actually, like Coach Chris Bright, he was like sharing me out about 2-3 weeks ago. I said to you, he saw me with gloves on, he's like, you're retired now, you can spend all your time of just getting stronger and becoming better at jiu-jitsu, but I still see you with gloves on. And Big Al, I think it's like between two things. Number one, I don't know better, man. I'm just so in routine of waking up every day, go coaching and making sure I get 1% better. And the second thing is like, yes, man, I just retired from MMA because to become a certain type of champion, you like need a certain obsession, and I think I've given 40 years of my life to that obsession, and now I'm still at a place where I literally want to grow every day. Every day I pray to Jesus, I make my spirits 1% better, I make my relationship with people 1% better, I make my business 1% better, and I make my health 1% better, and educate myself in violence 1% better, whether it's kickboxing, whether it's jiu-jitsu, wrestling, like lewe hard. But the main thing is just like regardless, like I just want to step up every single day and like get better. Like I'm competing now against Kyle, and that is so amazing because I think Kyle is amazing. I've been watching him in the last few tournaments, and he's really like, yes, he's doing so good. And I love Kyle. I love Carla Marie. I think they are, besides Nate and Kiara, they are my favorite jiu-jitsu couple. I think they are amazing, and hulle is vrek cute, and soos ek love hulle. And for as long as this season is, myself and Kyle, we have tested each other a few times, and we are each other's greatest teachers, because iron sharpens iron, and this will happen come on the 14th now of like March, and many times, for as long as Kyle still wants to compete and I want to compete, where I believe that we're both top dogs, man. So ons gaan mekaar nog baie sien en mekaar nog baie toets, and iron will sharpen iron, and that's why we just keep coming back, man. Dit is Kyle, want ons wil net beter wees, hè.
Fantastic. There's a lot in there that I want to dive in, but just something you said before we got onto Kyle. You mentioned being 1% better as a coach. You've obviously got these young guns following in your shadow, as it was. How important is it to you as a leader in your gym, your community, to lead from the front and keep that work ethic going?
I think dis kaas belangrik ago. Want soos like dit is baie soos nie dat ek is nie hulle parents nie, maar ek is hulle ouer boetie vir 120%. I'm the older brother. But there's a saying like children if I look at my little baby girl, children don't do what they're told, they do what they see. And ek dink is baie so, dit is moeilik vir my om te sê, come on guys, but I need to set the standard in my gym, and I need to set the culture of my gym. And soos besides that, ek moet vir hulle wys, ons kan nie jeug geweet nie, Henny, want soos, we don't know any single time we can, that we step into a jiu-jitsu tournament, I back myself and Kyle backs himself, but we're both at such a level that we know how it can go anytime, at like any day. Every role is a new role, man. And like, there's many lessons to like show my athletes. Number one, of stepping up and risking it to get the biscuit and self-improvement. But the other thing is also to put your ego aside, because if you don't put your ego aside, there will never growth. It is, if there's one real steroid, and we're not talking about Aiden Griffin now, come on. No, I'm just joking, dude. I love Aiden work. No, but if there's one real steroid in jiu-jitsu, it's competing, man. That's the one thing that really fast-paced this thing. If you really want to get better, compete and put yourself out there.
Using my free hand to start reaching to the cuff. Okay, like so. And from there, we'll just do a back step. We'll into the saddle from there. And now again, it's easy for me to just start sitting backwards with the heel.
You had a good run of competition last year. What was the motivation behind your 2025 comp schedule?
I'd say 2025 was quite a good year for me, especially towards the end. I think beginning of the year was a little bit more of a tricky one, especially I got submitted in a absolute final against Ali actually, and they called and then went to Italy, and I did the whole camp with them. So I just said to myself, you know, why not jump in and see how many brackets I could take out in one competition, and it worked out quite well for me. So I think if I'm not mistaken, I came third in the overall grapplers, so I was quite chuffed with that after the 2025 year.
Presenting a name like Griffiths in South African Jiu-Jitsu, does that add any extra pressure?
I wouldn't say it adds any extra pressure. I actually think it's quite a privilege to be able to do so. You know, just growing up with them and representing the Griffiths name is quite a privilege to be able to do so. You know, I think it does hold you to a higher standard, which I think is a good thing. So yeah.
How would you describe your jiu-jitsu style?
It's quite a good all-round grappler as my game. I don't think there's something specific that I prefer over the other. I think coming from Cornerstone, we do specialize in leg locks, as we could say. But I'd say all-round grappler is probably what I classify myself as.
You've faced JP Krueger a few times now. Do you think you know enough of his game to turn things around in this one?
Yeah, obviously I faced him twice now. The first one I remember quite well actually. I was popped completely. I was so gassed out when he managed to armbar me. Second one, we prepared a lot better for that one. I just think mentally maybe you know, JB's quite a tough guy. You know, even he's a bit on the older side, so he also has the experience, the competition experience. So I think maybe just mentally there were 1 or 2 mistakes I'd made that I think I could definitely have improved on, and I feel like I have improved on, and I think that might give me the upper hand this time.
Guys, 1, 2.
You obviously had some nice words about Kyle. You guys have faced each other a couple of times. Is there a lot in those matchups that you take with you into this one? You know where he's dangerous, you know where you're dangerous, and how do you apply that in your training now, getting ready for Kyle again?
Luister, I think myself and Kyle, we are very blessed. We are both very all-rounded athletes. We can wrestle, we can be on top, we can be on bottom. We're both a bit educated in leg locks. So I think we're really both all-rounded athletes. But at the end of the day, and take no offense to this, but this is just jiu-jitsu, man. This lekker. I'm nothing for this, but I'm not specifically training for that day. If the opponent pulled out, and I will continue my training still the same because I'm evolving in the gym, and it's just jiu-jitsu. I'm stepping up against whoever. En die keer is nou toevallig Kyle, and there's a bling involved, and that is freaking awesome. But it's all about stepping up, man. And I'm solving my problems anyways at home. Like I'm sure he's solving his problem. And it's not, maybe he will have like a specific, he's like, okay, look at this for JP and look at this. But at the end of the day, man, I think ons altyd is all-rounded en ons altyd gaan het risk en het gaan amazing wees.
You mentioned the bling there, the last belt you picked up and then retired. And is there still motivation beyond collecting belts, or like you say, it's just jiu-jitsu at the end of the day?
Dude, op die einde van die dag, dit is net jiu-jitsu. Dit is net jiu-jitsu, maar belde is flippend mooi, hè. Soos, ek seker dat daai goud bou die kleur uit my oë uit, hè. So, it is, yeah, obviously, if there's a bit of bling, if there's a gold involved, it's dis altyd lekker, nee, dit is awesome. That make for the best Instagram photos. But like besides that, man, like soos, op die einde van die dag gaan dit oor die groot journey. If that's the message I can get through, like Louise is so goed, hy bless ons is healthy, en ons kan opstep. Because if you look at it, 2 years ago I was in my and a world champion, and I dedicated my whole life to that, but 2 years later, no one even talks about it, which makes any belt kind of relevant, and the journey is just flipping awesome. So I'm excited of myself to do St. Carl, and op die einde van die dag, dit is just jiu-jitsu, nee.
And what would you say people watching the match can expect from you, from your style of jiu-jitsu of a new person?
Yes man, ek gaan definitely probeer die pace push. Ek raak 'n bietjie gatvol vir myself om overtime toe te gaan. So ek frustrate myself met dit. So ek wil definitely probeer net push en 'n bietjie meer exciting wees en 'n bietjie meer risk en soos al moet ek oor 'n guard spring of ietsie, so sal pretty cool wees. Maar definitely to push the pace and get a bit more exciting, like so ek sê ek raak gatvol vir overtime.
And lastly, X-Back there has got a nice new tattoo of a belt there. Can we expect the same from you if you pick up a...
It's a cool tattoo, man.
I can put it down. I told you it. Oh, I can put it down. Come through, oh, watch me put it down, 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 down.
Dr. Jack.
Oh, I can put it down. Oh, I can put it down.
What would you say is different about your approach for this match with JP?
Okay, yeah, I think, like I said, you know, mentally, I've you know, strengthened myself. I'm gonna call it that. I think, yeah, just a bit of a dog attitude, or just to fortify that mental toughness. I think, and then just, you know, just training as hard as I can. You know, being here every day, multiple times a day, you know, just doing everything I can, you know, leaving no stone unturned. I think that also helps in, you know, the mental toughness, you know, to back up, you know, that competition day.
With the title on the line for this one, does it change your approach physically and mentally, or is it just another match?
I do think, you know, it does change a little bit of things, you know. I think not so much that it blows it out of proportion to the point where you've got to start worrying about it and, you know, not being able to rely on your jiu-jitsu. But yeah, it definitely does change a couple of things. I think that title is quite a a big thing in our sport here in South Africa, and you know, be quite a prestigious thing to have. So I think mentally, again, just, you know, fortifying that mental toughness, and, you know, just working tirelessly in the gym as much as I can. Quite a lot, actually. You know, ever since the titles came up, you know, something that I knew I wanted to strive towards and eventually have them. And again, like I said, I've come short a couple of times now, but I'm quite excited to go out there and, you know, just prove that I'm able to take that belt home. Yeah. What can you expect from me at SubKings? I think non-stop action. I think whether it goes 30 seconds, you know, or the whole 10 minutes or 15 minutes or however long it is, I think non-stop action, you know, just keeping a constant pace, you know, just trying to outwork JB in every single position that I possibly can, and then looking for that finish.
But that's alright. Hush. Tape my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. Hush.
On March 14th, preparation ends, doubt disappears, and the truth is revealed. Kyle Lundie, JP Krueger. When they step onto the mat, only one will rise as light heavyweight champion. The stage is set. The moment is here. This is where champions are made.